Oh, hey, welcome to Peak Week. So this video is going to be very similar to my last one, basically exactly the same, except it's Peak Week. This is going to be the most amount of miles I've ever ran, ever in my entire life. The week runs aren't too different. It's just going to be 3 5-mile runs. But where it gets crazy is on Sunday. We have the stay tuned and yes, see if I die or not. Really not important. That's not why you're here. Took a walk, same as last week's video. Same as last video. Just took a walk. Nothing crazy. Moving on. So now, why you're really here. Starting out today, and where this is different, I'm showing you what I'm eating. You're welcome. So this morning, started it off with pretty much with what I eat every morning. Sourdough toast with some peanut butter, with fruits, tea, and a protein bar. And then for lunch, because I'm actually at work, I go to the promised land of Chipotle, get my Chipotle bowl. People always dog on Chipotle, saying it's, it fell off. It's no longer good anymore. They don't give you anything. It's like the only place, well, at least in my area, it's like either get a burger or Chipotle. And you get just a chicken and rice bowl with all the other fixings for like less than $10. I mean, it's probably cheaper to just go and buy chicken and rice and make that, but never mind. Anyway, so after work we get home, and of course it's thunderstorming. So without risking my life on this run, I had to go to my old friend, the treadmill. What? And like I could have went outside, I wasn't going to. Sorry, Mr. Goggins.
Who's gonna carry the boats and the logs?
So my apartment gym is just not ventilated at all. If there's more than like 2 people in there, like 4 people in there, it's a small gym. It gets so hot, like disgustingly hot. It's just stale air. You can't open a window. It's just gross. And I know I say this all the time when I'm on the treadmill, but seriously, like I was completely soaked through. Like it looked like I went outside in the rain. It really did. I was completely drenched. I walked inside and my girlfriend was like, "Did you run outside?" And I was like, "No." Just running on the treadmill is just a flat out mental battle. There's nothing else you can do besides just stare at the wall in front of you and run. And you can put on podcasts, you can put on music, but you have nothing else to think about besides how wet and uncomfortable you are the entire time. But we did it. We got the 5 miles on the treadmill. It was gross. It wasn't fun, but we did it. In some of the videos, I hope you can see how sweaty and gross I am. You can see the sweat all over the treadmill as well. Don't worry, I wiped that down. I wiped that off. I'm not an animal. Yeah, it was gross. And then when I got done, when I had dinner, which was just a salmon bowl, easy, salmon, rice, avocado, cucumber, put whatever sauces you want in there. Mwah, delicious. And that was Tuesday. Good morning. So Wednesday we had a early morning run. I had stuff to do after work, didn't have time to get it running, but needed to get it running. So here we are at 5:45 running in the morning. An early morning run is just good for the soul, especially if it's nice out, and especially if you had the worst run ever the day before. Nobody's out there except the dogs and me. With how crappy that run was yesterday, this was just super refreshing. And it was a really chill run. The first half of it was. The first half, I was just chilling, vibing, had my 70s playlist going, Fleetwood Mac bumping. I was that dude from that one Vine. There's a TikTok. That was me. But then we got to the halfway point, around 2.5, 3 miles, where I switched it over to DNB, and I kind of just let loose for the last half of it. Felt really good. The early morning runs are always so weird because you get home and you felt like you've done so much, and it's, you know, not even 7:30 yet. So then made some breakfast, the normal stuff, sourdough with peanut butter, bagel bar thing. I don't know, it's from Trader Joe's. It's pretty good. It's got like raisins and nuts in it. And then yogurt bowl with fruit, granola. Then it was off to work. For lunch, we had some spinach tortellini. Boil some water, throw it in there. Done in like 5 minutes. Put cottage cheese in there, marinara sauce. Very good. So then dinner time rolls around, and it's burger and sweet potato fries. Didn't feel like cooking, and just went to the place right down the street. And as you can expect, after my day, I was dead. I was probably asleep by like 9 o'clock. But yeah, that was Wednesday. Starting off today with normal breakfast, sourdough, peanut butter, banana, protein bar. Can't go wrong. Well, maybe you could. And then lunch, and since I'm at work, it's Chipotle again. It's cheap. I don't know. It's so easy just to go to Chipotle rather than make something. I know it's probably cheaper just to make it and prep, which I don't know. I might try that. It's a good video idea. And then it was a recovery run where I actually recovered. Crazy. Kept a good steady pace with my morning run the other day. The time it felt in between runs was crazy, but I felt really good. It was a good, strong week. Weekday runs. Tuesday wasn't fun, but it was still strong. I still did it. Wednesday, really good run. Had a lot of fun. I really got to incorporate some more morning runs into my routine, but getting to bed that early is just tough, especially when you get home at 5 and then, you know, you work out, you make dinner, and it's already like 8:30, and it's like, oh crap, I gotta go to bed in a half an hour. That's really tough, but I want to start doing it more. And then today, Thursday, it was just a good recovery run. Then we move on to had a wedding. Didn't really do anything. So from last video, this was our workout day. I've been my routine leg days. This Saturday, I didn't do anything. I slept all day. I didn't get to bed until like 4 a.m. the night before. And like, I don't drink, but still, having your sleep schedule just absolutely destroyed the next day, it feels like you're hungover. Just took it easy, ate a lot of food, and just hung out. And now, the moment you've all been waiting for. The 20 miler. Let's get into it. This is the furthest I've ever ran, ever. And this was pretty daunting because usually, for most people, for most sane people, I would say, is the last big run before the marathon. It's kind of like the test. You kind of see where you're at. And to be honest, I really didn't understand how big of an undertaking this was going to be until we actually got going. I woke up around 8 or so. I wanted to give myself at least an hour before the run because I wanted to eat actual real food. So I had a bagel with peanut butter and a banana, and then I had one of those electrolyte drinks, Noon Energies, where just like electrolytes and caffeine. For nutrition, thought about it on that Saturday night. You can't really go to the grocery store and buy energy gels, at least like where I live. So instead, ran to the grocery store. I bought a sweet potato and 2 fruit bars. And so what I did is I cooked up the sweet potato, cut it up in a bunch of slices, and put a bunch of salt on them. Threw it in the oven until they were crispy. And then that was one of my main sources of nutrition, and also had those 2 fruit bars. Foods are ultimately better, and that's what I'm going to use for a marathon. Easier to just stuff in the bag, but with what I had, it worked. By 9 o'clock, I was out the door. I got about a mile in, and I realized I didn't bring a water bottle, which was dumb. Like, obviously, I'm not going to raw dog 20 miles. Like, I'm not. It's like that, I would just die. So I did a little 3-mile loop. I was gonna do one way, but instead of doing it my initial way, I decided to do it backwards, because that way I'd be able to do this little loop and then go by my apartment, grab a water bottle. And I also had to use the bathroom because I didn't use that before. You gotta have some sort of BM before going on a long run. It's gonna happen. Like, that's just gravity. You know, you're going like this for so long. It's gonna happen regardless. So got back to my apartment, filled up a water bottle, used the bathroom, and then back on. And honestly, it was pretty okay for the first 14 miles. It felt good. The weather was fine, overcast, cloudy. It was a little hot, but because there's no sun, it was a lot more manageable. I'm going pretty slow, hitting about like 11:30 pace, 10:30 at the fastest. After mile 14, the wheels kind of fell off. The whole gravity of the situation kind of set in. Looking at my watch, and I'm like, I gotta do 10 more miles. I mean, not today, but 10 more miles during the marathon. I got 10 more miles after this. That was, I'm not gonna lie, very tough. But running it's mental, man. It's all mental. Me thinking about, well, hey, look how far you came. You had fucking cancer a year ago, and now you're running 20 miles. And it's your first 20-mile run. Like, of course it's not gonna go well. Like, I'm not a superhero. Like, of course it's gonna suck ass. That's just par for the course. And after I kind of realized that, it got in my head, I mean, obviously it still sucked, but it was a lot more manageable. And when you're that tired, it's so easy to fall into a dark place. But like I said, it's all mental. You gotta learn to pull yourself out. That's like half of running. Pulling yourself out of that dark place and moving forward. We're walk running the last 6 miles or so. 14 to 18, it was run for 2 minutes, walk for 30 seconds. Run for 2 minutes, walk for 30 seconds. I was able to do that for a couple miles. When I got to mile 18, it felt like I was running in slow motion. Run for a minute, walk for a minute. Run for a minute, walk for a minute. Run for a minute, walk for a minute. And then I hit the 19.5 and then ran the rest of the way. And I did it. You know, it wasn't pretty, it wasn't fast, but it was done. So even though it was hard and it didn't go that great, I'm still really proud of myself and really ready to get going for the marathon now. And also, it really put in perspective how hard the sub 4-hour marathon is going to be. But we don't have to worry about that right now. But yeah, that was it. That was peak week. All in all, pretty good. My body felt good physically the day after. I mean, I was sore, but really not that bad. I was very surprised and actually pretty happy. So that must mean I'm doing something right. But the next video will just be on the marathon, I guess. Jeez. I wanted to do a video before kind of prepping, kind of going through like my game plan, but I really don't think I'll have time. I don't really want to force it if it's not going to be good. So, but yeah, next video is the marathon. When you see me next, I will have either passed away due to exhaustion or ran the marathon. So anyway, if you made it this far, I love you. I love you to death. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.